Okay, hello everybody. Happy Monday. I don't have any slides for today, but I am going to just recap. I know there was a lot of things going on today and not everyone has had a chance to watch Q News, but I really encourage you. There was a lot of information that they covered today. The first thing is they're opening up more tickets for the in-person convention next month, about 75. Jake is going live at 10 a.m. Tara said that there is going to be a lot of information given. If you can be on to watch him at 10 Mountain Standard, even if it's just, Heather, even if it's just like listening in, try to listen in. If not, of course, the recording will be there. And then the tickets are going to go on sale at 10:30 Mountain Standard. They literally sold out in like 10 minutes last time. So if you're wanting to go, make sure you're ready for it. They're going to let everybody attend Bronze Academy, which is huge. Typically, Bronze Academy is only for people with a lifetime rank of bronze and higher. You guys, I've listened to all of Jake's trainings. I literally signed up for almost everything. Bronze Academy is by far my most favorite training. So that alone is worth going. They talked a little bit about today's a new chat feature that they're putting in place to where now you don't have to log into your back office and load the form. But with that, they want you to, when you're typing in your question, to go ahead and put in your full name, your email address, and your user ID. So if for some reason you get disconnected, they have a way to reach out to you. And then they brought compliance on to talk about how they're going to be handling the PC accounts for those that have the same credit card and ship to address. They're not going to be deleting accounts. They're just going to be altering how those points count towards your numbers and everybody else's. So again, they talk about it in more detail, but jump on and listen to it if you haven't, because they give a lot of awesome information. So I'm going to have Jamie Lynn here introduce the beautiful Heather, and then we will get going.
Hey, everybody. So I'm so excited to introduce to you guys Heather. If y'all have not met her, Heather is an accounting consultant, a mom of two. She's a band mama and a wife, and she is the queen of organization and reports. And so I am so excited about this training tonight. So hope you have your pens and take good notes. She's going to have some slides for us, so that's super fun. So Heather, take it away.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. I don't know about like all of that, but appreciate it. So I am a consultant and my background is in accounting. So I do a lot of presentations at work. So I haven't made a fun presentation, so don't judge me, but I haven't been able to make a fun presentation in a very long time. Also, side note, our football team, our high school football team, is on track to go to state. So last Friday we went to semifinals in, where were we? Anyway, it doesn't matter. And then so this Friday is the state game in Dallas. So fingers crossed for Cedar Parks and all the good vibes. So my voice is a little extra. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Will you guys let me know if and when you can see it? Okay, and is it just the presentation or do you see all your faces? Now, I don't know how to. Anyway, okay, so let's just talk about getting organized in 2021. Like Jamie Lynn said, my name is Heather Sprague. I'm an accounting consultant. So, organization and checklists and schedules have been in my DNA from a very long time. Like I was talking to my mom and I was like, I remember the very first time that I made a checklist of things that I needed to do. And I don't want to tell you how young I was because I honestly don't remember, but I do remember the feeling of the accomplishment afterwards, right? Like accomplishing and checking off or marking through something that I needed to do. And that became a big part of who I am and a direct relation to how I feel about myself. So that unhealthy relationship has actually transformed into a very healthy relationship. And I really want to talk to you guys about that because I have some tendencies, which are sometimes helpful with work, right? But sometimes can be a little too much. So I want to talk to you guys because I know some of you struggle with this type of thing. I struggle on the other end. So let's find a happy medium. But in the meantime, what I have learned through my personal experiences and my research on this topic specifically, like I've been in trainings and all kinds of good stuff about organization, time management, calendars and yada yada yada. For our industry specifically, I want to, said differently, I want to emphasize, please do not spend too much time trying to organize before you get into action. There's a phrase in our industry, right? Earn as you learn. And at first I rolled my eyes at it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, no, I need all my stuff like, meh, meh, meh. But there's an excitement. It's all for a reason. Our systems are set up for a reason. And actually, from all the research and trainings that I've done, systems save you so much time. So much time. You don't have to create anything from scratch. And so let's see if I can. Anyway, so you don't have to create anything from scratch. You're not like trying to reinvent the wheel here, which is really a huge blessing. And I found this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, which is baller, obviously. But a good system shortens the road to the goal. Like, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And that straight line is a system in my brain. And speaking of systems, ours is amazeballs. Yep, said amazeballs. Our laundry system, like, I don't know if you guys have heard the laundry system before, but if you have, know it, love it well. If you have not, get with your friends, your support team, or you can go into the movement. And I did put it here. So Tara did a really good new launch document. And so the launch document is in the movement. Under mine is black, so I showed you what it looks like and how to find it. But launching new business partners immediately, setting up those VIP calls or Fab Fives or whatever, and getting people to talk and share their story. I used to be super intimidated by the word presenting, and I still am. But whenever someone says, hey, share your story, that doesn't sound as intimidating. And doing that earlier than later will earn you more money, more confidence, and bring in people into your network, into your business that need to be there. So anyway, following the systems will save you a ton of time. But getting into a little bit more details, I found a couple quotes. Actually, I found a gazillion, and I had a really hard time picking a couple, but these two really resonated with me. Being organized is not about being perfect. Everybody, you can look on the outside, looking in like, oh, they have their shizzle together, but we all have a million things going on, right? It's really about customizing your world to work for you. And Eleanor Roosevelt, this one kind of hit home to me. It takes as much energy to wish as it does to plan. So January is a big vision board, dreaming time. So what if we spent that same amount of energy on dreaming as we are planning, making things happen for us? So I did talk to several of you that are here and got your feedback, honestly, of what is it when I was approached with the idea or the the topic of organization and reporting and all of that, I was really curious what area of organization is it that you're struggling with. So for me, you know, my schedule is pretty packed, less so now with COVID, but beforehand, scheduling was really, really something I struggled with. So obviously, number one, put your non-negotiables in first. You know, kind of like the big rocks. I don't know if you guys have heard the rocks, the pebbles, the sand, the water analogy into your schedule. If you haven't, go look it up. It's super, it will help me a lot visualize, you know. And I want you guys to be intentional with your time. You know, I did an exercise not too long ago about just jotting down how much time I spent doing what, because I have, you know, sometimes a scarcity mindset with the amount of time I have. So I noticed I spent, you know, 3 hours a day scrolling Facebook or Instagram or whatever and hopping across things. And that wasn't like I didn't get anything out of it other than time being gone. Like that's our only unrenewable resources, time, right? My brain also, I'm a big advocate of time blocking. So just like Newton's first law and inertia, right? An object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon, yada, yada, yada. If you don't know it, look it up. But so I feel like our brains work the same way. Like if you're in a zone doing, you know, creative work, you know, posting, you can get all of your post ideas, spend an hour, block that time out. Or if you're sending messages, or if you're connecting with people, or if whatever, your brain or my brain, staying on that same path, not having to switch gears is so much more helpful if I can say, okay, I'm going to block out this much time to dedicate to this. But I also want you guys to give yourself a little wiggle room. You know, don't book yourself back to back. You may be okay with it. I get a little stressy about it. Add a little buffer in there, seriously, especially if it's for a call with a prospect or someone that you don't know very well, because you want to be very respectful of their time. And if you show up late or flustered or whatever, got to go to the bathroom, heaven forbid, you know, nature calls, include that buffer time in there. And at the end of the day, take a couple minutes. It doesn't have to be a long time, but recap your day. Document your numbers. We'll talk about that here in a second. And then review what you have planned for tomorrow. So, you know, there is the saying of course, I forgot right now. Anyway, plan for today, be ready for tomorrow. Know your day before it's there. Son of a biscuit. That's embarrassing. Anyway, so we're going to move on. All right, so I have some animations for you guys because I am so nerdy and I was super excited about making this PowerPoint. Anyway, so let's talk about reports in our back office. So when you log into your back office, you click on this button here or section here, business resources, and then click on report center. So this will take you to all of your reports. Now I have several because I'm weird. But there are several canned reports or quick reports that are really helpful and are honestly like all you need to know. So let's talk about them for a second. Oh, you know what? Before we get into that, if you're an Excel person, you click any report that you run, you click on the 3 dots and then go to export, and that'll take you to another screen, and then you can download them and it'll be in a CSV format. But you don't have to know or use Excel in order to utilize these. Any field is sortable. And so if you see here where I said next auto ship date and there's that little arrow going up, that means that I have it sorted by auto ship date. Anyway, so here's what I was talking about. Like if you hit export here, it'll go into this like exported report section, and then you can click on the word download and it'll download into Excel for you to utilize. So a quick summary of what each report shows you that is currently there. Our auto ship report is your entire organization. The reason I say entire organization is because it's not only your personally recruited, it's also your placement leg. So you'll have that entire thing, your entire organization, and it'll reflect the auto ship date, the volume, and their current month's volume. Leg volumes, that one's pretty self-explanatory. You'll either have 2 or 3 depending on where you are, and it has the person at the very top and then the number. Super straightforward. The new enrollments last 90 days. So this one is super important. Again, the entire organization with a join or start date within the last 90 days. So these are the people that we definitely want to help get rolling, get excited. You know, with our executive time clock, like this is super important, right? Personal preferred customers. These are the people that have gone to your personal website, signed up as a customer, preferred customer, and it shows you on their last order date, if they have an auto ship on, you know, things like that. I use that to touch base and check in with my customers regularly. I actually use that entire thing to send, you know, for Christmas or New Year's holiday thank yous, you know, things like that. And then the team rank information. So this one is actually my favorite. It's the one-stop shop. Again, it's the entire organization. And I have an export, something I'm like made up, or how are we doing on time? Okay, so we have 10 minutes left. Do you guys have any desire to see an example of this report? Because this one I feel like is really, really helpful. All right, I see 2 people nodding their heads, so that's what we're gonna go with. All right, so let me switch over.
Yes.
Holding, please. Oh, that is work. Do y'all see Excel? Yes. Okay, so I made up a thing. I made up some people and numbers and whatever. So first of all, I want to show you guys, like if in the event, so this is actually in Excel, but it does the same thing in like sheets. In the event that you see numbers or pounds, like here, you can see a mobile number and it has this like plus sign, whatever. And then here in our start date, you can see there's a pound sign. So all you have to do is expand those columns. So I always go into that top right corner here and I double click between A and B. You see how my cursor is a plus sign now? So then it's going to show the full mobile number, and then obviously like it's going to make it larger. Right. So anyway, so the full, the team rank report, as you can see, it has their ID, first name, last name, they're all going to be for ambassadors, their current rank, their highest rank, their contact information, when they started, current month's personal volume, if their commission are active. So this one's obviously super important because if it's a no, they're not getting a paycheck. And we obviously want everybody getting a paycheck. So this also shows personally sponsored active, leg volume 1, 2, and 3. So I always add in a super simple formula for total. So I just typed in something here, and there are 2 ways to do this. So you can go, can y'all see this auto sum sign right here? Or this thing that looks like a weird E. So this is going to calculate. So we don't really need the personally sponsored active. So I'm going to go here and pull it over to only include leg volumes 1, 2, and 3. And then hit enter. So that tells you their total volume. Another way to do that is to do a super sum or a super simple sum formula, and just do SUM, meaning sum, to add up the numbers, and then drag the 3 across like that and hit enter. Simple trick again for Excel and for Google Sheets. If you go to the bottom right hand corner, when it turns into a black plus, you can double click and the formula will go all the way down. So then leg 1 volume is always the highest. Oh, Kristen. Leg 1 volume is always the highest volume. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It doesn't necessarily mean placement leg, you know, recruited leg, recruited leg. It just means the highest volume when you pulled that report. So a lot of people are running on leg volume 2. And so you can use this and sort in any way to look back at how close people are to rank ups, and what they need, send screenshots, have conversations, you know, things like that. So if we want to get into more details on that, we can definitely do that at a later date. But I don't want to Excel bore everybody because I live in Excel every single day. But honestly, like the team rank information is my favorite because I do think that it's the most useful. It's kind of a one-stop shop. I've tweaked it a little bit because I want all the things in there. And additionally, we do have access to some corporate training on Wednesday. So you guys might want to mark this in your calendar. Wednesday, the 13th, Aspen is going to be training on how to run reports. And so I know that'll be super helpful. I also, for you guys, just so you know, that was posted in the movement in the event that you were like, where'd you find this? That's where I found it. Okay, now let's talk about how you can use all this stuff and make you money and track your business, right? So number one thing is tracking your income producing activities, the things that are gonna make you money. That's why we are all here, right? So this is the day-to-day. Who are you talking to? Where are they in the funnel? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So those are the income producing activities that we want to focus on every single day. And there are also KPIs, which are a very common business term, key performance indicators. And the things that we report here in most of our accountability groups are, they kind of change a little bit. You know, we had a lot of events and things like that, but that has obviously changed with COVID over the last year. So we pivot. But our Class A prospects, and what that means is someone that has shown interest in the business in the last 60 days, events or Zooms, someone who has attended, like actually showed up to an online event, a meeting, or done an in-person meeting or sit down or came to a Q event. And we're also tracking our personally sponsored, whether that is preferred customers or ambassadors. So I want to show you guys a couple of examples. Yes, awesome, Ashley. Seriously, like there's always that saying, like what you focus on grows. And I don't believe it's BS. Like I really feel like it's legit. Most important thing, y'all, use a system that works for you. Keep it simple, sister. Like don't overcomplicate things. And again, you know, kind of like I said at the beginning, don't spend too much time trying to get organized before you get into action. Get into action and then you can get organized as you go, because then you'll learn, okay, what is it that I need? What gaps do I need to fill? So whether you're using a pen and paper, note cards in a little, you know, box like your kids have at school, or you use an electronical version. Yes, I like to make up words. Whether that's the note section of your phone, a Google Doc, Word, you know, or a spreadsheets like I like to live in. So here's a couple of examples of, you know, trackers who, so this first one are people like, I kind of plan out who I'm going to talk to in the next 5 to 10 days, just so when I have like 15 minutes, I can knock out a whole bunch of stuff, right? I can send a video message, a voice message, or whatever. But I also want to track how many times have I talked to this person? Is it chit chat? Are we talking business? Have I invited them? Did they show up? So I really like the prospect tracker kind of at the bottom, like, yep, we chatted. Yep, they came to a Zoom. Okay, we followed up, yada, yada, yada. Because as we know, it usually takes multiple touches for people to make a decision, right? Here's another example of an IPA worksheet. This is one that, a lot of people print out, and they, have one for every single day of the week. And that's how they're tracking that stuff. Again, however works for you, highly recommend. Here's another example. So this is an Excel example. This was created a while back, but here's our, like, kind of at minimum, we want to share queue with 3, follow up with 2, connect with 3. Anyway, and then at the end of the week, you can kind of tally that up, and it's all on one sheet for you, and you can know kind of where you are in your business. Excuse me. So again, KPI tracker, this is one of my favorite things, probably because it's formula driven and I just love it, and it's pretty. But it's actually super helpful. So like, how many people this in the last 7 days from last week to this week did I get into be a class A? How many got into a Zoom? How many made it to events? And these are the numbers that, if you're in any of the accountability groups, that you would be reporting. And I have these files if it's something that would be helpful or interested, or you'd be interested in, or whatever. But don't overthink it. And coming from me, that's big. So anyway, I don't know, like, I know this is kind of high level. And I'm going to look and see. All right, so Jamie Lynn, I do believe this is part of the advanced subscription. But for you personally, if you need help, let me know, because I know someone that could help you. iPhone told everyone, I'm not sure who iPhone is, but thank you, Excel and laundry. 2 words that haunt me. I'm really sorry that those haunt you, because that's where we live, sis. I'm assuming sis, maybe bro, I don't know. All right, well, I think that is all the comments. If you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute. And, oh, how do I unshare? Am I still sharing? I don't know. All right. Well, love you guys. Happy Monday. Hope you have an amazing week. Does anybody, or is somebody closing out, or is that me? Ash, Katie.
Heather, that was amazing. That was so good. Thank you. You are such a rock star at this. And like I said in the comments, you could totally make an ebook and sell this stuff. Because it takes people, like some people, 10 times as long as it would take you 30 seconds to do one of these. So I really, really appreciate it. We are recording, so I'm going to get this uploaded quickly so people can have access to this. It's awesome. Thank you. Anything else? Thank you, Katie.
I have a question, or other Ashley.
Yeah, I know, right? I was gonna end by saying, I think you should, if people want more in-depth on the reports, Heather, thank you so much for sharing that training with Aspen. I didn't even know that was happening. And then also the Q News the Q News from today, because there was a lot of really good info. But what was your question, Lucy?
I was just gonna ask, because I'm all about like duplication. So on these examples that you shared, Heather, are you able to share those with the team if they wanted to use them? Like I have one, but it's really long. I like this one that we're looking at right now. I'm like, oh, Yeah, I like that with the stuff. I know how to do formulas and everything, but if you are willing to share some of these as shareable documents, could you either in our chat or maybe the movement or wherever if possible?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually super recently created a Google Drive with some resources, launch documents and stuff like that. So absolutely.
I just think with so many new people coming on, especially those that don't have a lot of experience in tracking or in network marketing, that things like this, for those visual learners are, at least I know on my team, I mean, are
Oh,
really, really great to, help going forward. And sometimes, it's easier to look at than try to explain or whatnot. So thank you so much, Heather.
yeah, for sure.
And you guys, one last thing, tickets for the Utah event, there's 75 to 100. I'm sure you talked about that at the beginning. Just don't forget, go get them if you want to go. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yay.
Awesome.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great night.
Thank you.